Looking at the last game of the New York Knicks, it was a win against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. And guys, it was a blowout too. I think that surprised some people.
Yeah, the biggest factor was probably all the opposing turnovers. Those guys were being very loose with the ball, and it cost them.
There were some pretty glaring errors made out there, Steve. It was certainly not what you would see at a clinic in terms of ball control.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Charlotte Bobcats. Mr. Moves, he's in at the point. Joel Prisbilla is out there with Boris Diaw. Then it's Tracy McGrady, and it's Jefferson in at the three spot. And for the Knicks, Phillips and Fields pairing up in the back. Melo and Amari at the forward sides. And it's Turioff in at the 5, home in the paint.
You know, in 2010, Charlotte made the playoffs, but it wasn't because of their play on the road and their poor performance in that department carried into last season.
And it's the Bobcats' ball. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Well, they were fortunate to be up against a D that looked totally overmatched. I mean, there wasn't much that they couldn't do offensively.
Yeah, they completely had their way with it.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin. Paul Silas had a few moments to share with me. He said that they will be focusing a lot of their defensive effort into slowing down Carmelo Anthony. I asked him for specifics, and he said, Melo is such a dynamic player, there really isn't any single thing to do that would be the answer. Instead, what to throw how he handles it. Guys?
Always great to hear from you, Doris. More on Charlotte. Both years just winning 13 wins in 41 road games.
And don't give yourself a lot of room for error to make the playoffs when you play that poorly on the road. That means you have to be almost perfect at home.
Here's Mr. Moves. This game, an incredible scoring display for him.
He is extremely comfortable behind that three-point line. I mean, especially when you give him that kind of room to operate.
Knocked away. And here we go. Takes it up. And he makes good on the way. He's got 5. Here's Billups. He had 13 points in the win against Cleveland. Anthony right side. Jefferson on him. Anthony against Jefferson. Releases from 15. Joel Prisbilla comes up with the rebound. Prisbilla's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Well, Amari knew it wasn't going to be easy turning the ship around in New York. But he was the centerpiece. And then when the Knicks landed Carmelo Anthony in the trade at the deadline, they became one of the best 1-2 punches in the league.
Now, here is Fields. Stoudemire left side. Here's Billups. And such a nice move to make the best of it. And back to Amari and Melo, as Stevie was talking about that part. Do you think they work well together with their individual skill sets?
Well, I'll tell you what, the two-man game with Amari rolling would be hard to stop him and Melo. I mean, that's a lot of talent between two guys. They both are excellent finishers.
Each of them, you're right.
Both of them.
Feeds it to Diaw. Here's Mr. Moves. He's got 5. Jacks up a 3. Amari Stoudemire with the rebound. New York trailing. And this is the first time matched up with the Bobcats this season.
Well, these teams were very similar in a lot of ways last year, especially in the standings. They were able to take the season series from them.
Here's Billups, right now averaging 15 points a game. Outside Anthony. Jefferson picks him up. 6 to shoot. On the high post. And the Knicks getting another bucket right there. Regular season for interest.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, but they had an advantage in just a few critical areas that gave them the upper hand. They did a good job of winning the majority of those games.
Here's Mr. Moves after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony.
Defense gave him more than enough space right there.
Now here's Billups. He's covered closely. Stoudemire over Diallo. And Stoudemire with the basket on the assist by Billups. Stoudemire's got his second basket of the night. Dishes it to Diallo. Here's Mr. Moves.
You know what? All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Anthony left side. Jefferson is right there. Fired from 14. Anthony shot it off. Bobcats win by 3. Here's McGrady. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Here is Fields. Looking for his first bucket of the game. McGrady covering. And Fields gets to Billups. Launches a 3. The Bobcats pull it in.
Boy, he got a nice looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll hit that shot regardless of the defense.
Brisbilla backing down. Over Stoudemire. Brisbilla, no good.
In 2005, with the Phoenix Suns, Mike D'Antoni was coach of the year. The Knicks brought him in to bring some of that winning formula he had in the desert to the Big Apple, and it finally paid off last year.
Here's Charlotte. It's a 5-point game. Here's Mr. Moves, who's guarded by Billups. Releases from 15. And Turioff pulls it down. He made the playoffs, and Mike D'Antoni had them playing some good up-tempo ball. Steve, did you like it? Did it fit what they had there? What was your overall feel on what D'Antoni did when he had a full roster?
Well, he had a tough job because the roster changed so dramatically with the Carmelo trade. But I like it. I think the style suits the personnel and vice versa. And I think this has a chance to be a very good team in the NBA this year.
Here's Mr. Moves. The Knicks making the shot. McGrady outside. 5 on the clock. Here's Mr. Moves. Takes a 3. The Knicks pull it in. Fields has got his 4th rebound in this one. Outside Billups. Outside Billups. Bobcats leading by 3. Straight up. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Great finish there, and now he's got a free throw coming, too.
Well, that's a big boy move right there, partner. I mean, it takes a lot of strength to finish a shot through contact like that.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Sheldon Williams checks in for Turner. Manolo Baldwin sub in for Stoudemire. And now the 2K leaderboard, a list of the teams that have rebounded the ball tremendously over the last 10 games. The Bobcats 4th.
Kevin, that's been a nice run lately. They're making a strong effort on the board, and it's working and paying dividends for them.
And the Bobcats making a change here. White's checked in. Ball's not loose. Solo break. Looking to get back on track here. They get the rebound. Another shot, and that one's good. And the Bobcats lead by 8.
This has been a strong statement by them, the way they've come out and attacked the glass early.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. I love the physical play, the fact that they're taking the game right to their opponents.
So now that's twice we've seen the offense collapse. That's back-to-back empty trips because of turnover.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because now all of a sudden you start turning the ball over, you lose all offensive rhythm and flow. And the Knicks last season did not use their bench very often, kind of typical of Mike D'Antoni team. He relies heavily on his starters, and that was the case a year ago.
He gathers, and Brisbilla gets it to go.
They've been dominant in the paint. That's how they built this early lead.
Well, they're piling it on in there. I mean, that's where all their points are coming from, in the paint area.
Inside, and the big-time jam. Let's see it again with the spike slam jam.
It's been really impressive. Both ends of the floor so far early on.
Yeah, and it's for that reason that they've been able to jump out a bit early here.
Billups kicks to Williams. Back to Billups. Pass to Anthony. Wide up. Up with it. Double clutches. And he recovers it. From deep Phillips. And it ends up out of bounds. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. Taking a look at Charlotte. They're in second. Looking to take over the first spot. And, of course, there's the Knicks, just a couple of spots back.
You know, when you check out Charlotte, they've done a fantastic job this year. I mean, just unbelievable. Compared to last season, they've taken a huge step forward.
They have, Clark, and I think the way they've done it is just by competing on a nightly basis. I mean, they come out to play. They're well prepared, and they've done a nice job of really playing well together and making the most of the talent that they have. Nice defense, poking that one out of bounds.
You know, just a nanosecond quicker, and they would have been going the other way.
They definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Steve, you like groove, don't you?
I do. I love groove, Kevin, and I love the attack mode this team is in, too. I mean, they're really getting into the paint. They're getting whatever they want offensively.
Here's Phillips. 6 points for him. High post try. Phillips can't get that one to fall.
Richard Jefferson coming off of a year last season where he started out strong, but he really didn't keep up the pace, and his consistency slipped as the season went on.
Now, here is McGrady. 6 points for him. Lets it go with a three. Tries again. Here's Prisbilla. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
It's good defense. Don't let a guy get away and foul hard and send it to the free throw line.
I like that more than can't come in here and get anything free in our paint.
Back to that production dip by Jefferson, around 15 points in November, down to 9 or 10 at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's hard to put my finger on exactly what happened there, but clearly.
Well, thanks to some good shooting, they're off to a nice lead here.
Well, they hit the ground running, Steve, from the tip-off, I mean, and they've yet to slow down.
Phillips kicks to Williams. Fields. Anthony backing him down. Trying to get back on track. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one on Jefferson.
Very easy call to make. There's no question contact on that shot.
Yeah, you know, you can allow a little contact, but not quite that much.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Tony Turioff, he's checked in for Sheldon Williams. Stoudemire comes in for Ronaldo Ball. Arthur Mason is subbed in for Landry Fields. And for the Bobcats, Kwame Brown is checked in for Chris Miller. Diao comes in for DJ White. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Tracy McGrady.
Well, it was a tough season last year for Charlotte, not making the playoffs. Really struggling after surging the previous couple of years, and their record against Eastern Conference opponents did not help.
And so he hits both. With the Bobcats in the Eastern Conference, you know, part of that is just also the division that they play. Very, very difficult.
Yeah, hard as heck, Kevin. I mean, 30 losses against the East, but that's understandable when you have to see the Heat, Magic, and Atlanta Hawks 4 times a year. Those are all playoff teams.
Well, there are a lot of good closers in the NBA, but for my money, Carmelo Anthony is the best guy in the fourth quarter when you absolutely need a bucket.
McGuire, he's checked in for Richard Jefferson. Steve just talked about Carmelo Clark as a clutch scorer. Stats back him up. Game on the line. There are few better in the league in doing that.
I would put him right at the very top of the list, too, top 2 or 3, because he can get it over you, he can get it around you, he can do it with his back to the basket, he can do it from the three-point line, and he's a really good free throw shooter. I mean, he is really one of the premier scorers in our league, without question.
Working it around now. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Well, the big story for the Knicks this past year was the acquisition of Carmelo Anthony. Having already signed Amari Stoudemire, the Knicks made the deal for Anthony and all of a sudden had one of the great 1-2 combinations in the league.
Sheldon Williams checks in for New York. Good on the second free throw. And back to Melo and Amari, they just need to build the right supporting cast around those two.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, those are 2 foundational pieces that are all stars. Plugging in around them will be the next step. They're in the process of doing that, too. I mean, New York definitely reversed their fortunes with the moves they made last season.
6 on the shot clock. Phillips inside the line. New York, no good that time either.
Shooting-wise, he's having a tough quarter. I mean, he just seems to have gone cold. Can't find the basket. Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over.
Well, I think last year when the Bobcats traded Gerald Wallace, they lost a part of their soul and their identity. And it's tough to win when you lose a guy like that, but they did get a couple of draft picks, and that will help them in this rebuilding process.
Tony Douglas has checked in for Chauncey Billups. And Clark, back to that trade Steve was just talking about. We both like Gerald Wallace a great deal, but that's, I think, what was the key. When you saw that he was let go, you knew the Bobcats were starting to look at the future.
Yeah, starting to do it about face, and those draft picks will help them not only get more talent, but also get a little younger as well. And it's not going to be easy, it never is, but I think they're headed in the right direction. You know, I think in Tony Douglas, the Knicks got a great find in the 2009 draft. He was the 29th pick, pretty gutty defender, but a terrific scorer.
To the middle, Anthony, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Nothing fancy for him on that jam, just a textbook flush.
Markey put it away without a moment's hesitation. He passes to Dion. They're moving the ball. Backing down is Brown. The turnaround jumper. Stoudemire grabs the board. Stoudemire's got his 4th rebound in this one. Mason misses. Got a piece of it. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Stoudemire and Turioff in the middle. Billups and Fields pairing up in the backcourt. And it's Anthony in at the 3. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. We're talking about Tony Douglas on the Florida State combo guard, Steve, and he's not a great playmaker yet, but he does do a great job of limiting his turnovers.
So he understands his limitations as a point guard, but he really focuses on his outside shot offensively. He's shooting about 38% from long range for his career, and a guy who can get extremely hot pretty much any time. Very streaky shooter. He may single-handedly bring his team back, guys. What a fantastic quarter he's having.
Fires top of the key. And once again, off the mark by Charlotte. Knicks trail by 12. Now Phillips. 6 points for him. And there's the feed to Melo. Straight up. He cans that one. Anthony's got 10 points in the game.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Our defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
Fields with it. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Anthony, the pass to Stoudemire. Here's Anthony, and there's another one for the Knicks.
The offense really coming around here in the second.
Up above 50% shooting now for the game, guys, and they'll definitely take that. It's defense where they need to key in.
He dishes it to Cunningham. Open look. The shot's good. Collison making the play.
Pretty pass there, right where he needed to put it.
Knicks trail by 13. And here's Billups. Stoudemire backing him down. Over Jefferson. Shot by Stoudemire, no good.
Well, not a bad effort there.
They knocked that one down.
And that one's good. He's got 21. And here comes Billups. He has 6. Back to Anthony. McGrady covering. It's stolen by McGrady.
Great hands down low. Gets the takeaway.
Some good ball movement here. Lets it go from deep. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Fields has got 6 rebounds in the game. Outside Billups. Pocket 6. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Phillips has got 8 points.
Well, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
He kicks it to Collison. Here's Mr. Moves. From past the arc. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. He's got 24.
He could have read a book cover to cover with all the time he was given on that three. My goodness, come on, play some D.
I could have read a book, could have played a video game.
Let's see who have been the top assist teams in the league this season. Number 1, the Bobcats.
You know, if there's a stat that coaches really would be impressed by and proud of, it's assists, leading the league in assists. And this team is outstanding. Not only do they have excellent scores, but everybody is willing to make the extra pass and share the basketball.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Sheldon Williams comes in for Ronny Turio. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Chauncey Billups.
Guys, good job working it down low and getting the high percentage look there. That's good basketball.
Played in with a nice touch off the glass. 26 points for him.
Well, he's really amped it up in this quarter. It took him a little while, but everything's clicking nicely right now.
He's feeling it, and Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Douglas. Douglas has got his 3rd assist on the night.
Starting to build ahead of steam here. We had a good first quarter, but it's going to be better here in the second.
The rim for 2 with the D all over him. And the Bobcats lead by 16. Stoudemire outside. He's guarded by Diaz. Charity stripe shot. It's rebounded by Richard Jefferson.
I like the shot, despite the miss. I mean, that's his range.
Here's Mr. Moves. And he has 28 points for the game. Chris Billa in the post. He's guarded by Williams. Here's Mr. Moves, defended by Douglas. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
It was the Knicks getting swept out of the playoffs 4-0 by the Celtics, but don't think that the series was that lopsided. I mean, those first 2 games in Boston could have gone either way.
Back to the Knicks Celtics series. Boston had to come back in both those first 2 games. And the Knicks certainly made it interesting. They really did.
Yep.
Steve, I know you enjoyed those and watched them.
Yeah, those were great games, particularly the first 2 in Boston. The Celtics had to really dig deep to win. And then once it was 2-0, it looked like New York just kind of let its guard down, and the Celtics took advantage.
Pass to Temple. Here's Mr. Moves. There's the dish to Diaz. Nice move. He lays it in with a soft touch. Diaz got 7 points.
Right, you just see them taking it strong into the paint over and over again.
Yeah, that really seems to be the strategy, partner. I mean, pound it inside.
Here's Jefferson, and the rejection by Stoudemire. Here's Anthony. Carmelo throws it down. A replay here. This Mike Sim game shows us how it's done.
Everybody up off their seat.
Oh, they're loving it, they Steve.
Well, how could they not? I mean, he put the cherry on top of the sundae on them.
Here's Mr. Moves. 30 points in the game.
You know, looking at Amari's numbers from last year, he had career highs in points per game, and that was even as he was being the focal point of opposing teams' defense.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
Ronny Turio, he's checked in for New York. Bachman comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And no problem at the line here for the 3-point play. You're right, Clark, going back to Amari. He took 19 shots a game, but was still able to keep Steve his field goal percentage over 50%.
Well, it's not easy to do when you're seeing so many double teams. And now that Carmelo Anthony is going to be on the Knicks full-time for a full season, I think you'll see Amari with even more room to work with on offense.
And that's going to turn up what they call for 8 seconds. Here's what the schedule says for the New York Knicks and what it looks like. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Bobcats leading by 11. He feeds it to McGuire. Here's Mr. Moves. And once again, off the mark by Charlotte. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, it's been really sloppy out there. I understand that they're trying to be aggressive, but still, I mean, you can play fast but still play efficiently, but they're not doing that right now.
Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And Charlotte has possession. At one point, they led by 16. It's going to be 2 free throws. True contact in the shot. That one's on Anthony.
Well, Charlotte came into last season on a high, having made the playoffs, and then a year ago they slipped back in a lot of ways. They made changes. The coaching changed. Larry Brown moved on. They traded Gerald Wallace. So it was, in many ways, a rebuilding year for the franchise.
Both shots good from the stripe. Back to Charlotte, and Steve, you're just talking about that. You thought they were turning the corner the year prior, but they couldn't keep the momentum going. They changed coaches. You talked about the injury moments ago about Jackson. They had a lot of things that kind of got in their way.
Well, even that playoff team from a couple of years back, Kevin, you don't know how much higher the ceiling was for that group, so you almost have to think that rebuilding is the right step for them going forward, even if the fans might have to suffer through some tough years. Sometimes you got to tear it down to build it back up in a better fashion.
Kicks to Brisbilla. Here's Mr. Moves. A three. Gets the bucket. He has 35.
He is not the guy you want to leave open behind the arc, guys. I mean, come on, you got to understand who you're defending.
Pulls up. The shot's good from Douglas.
Tell you what, he's just got too much speed. They've got to find a better matchup for him.
Bobcats leading by 14. Here's Mr. Moves. Rebounded by Douglas. And they're on the break. Jumps up. Waltman. Tries again. Here's the triple. And Tony Douglas gets the three. Douglas has got his third bucket of the night.
He got off to a slow start. It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but he's turned it on here in the second.
Well, every once in a while, he'll show us some pretty good moves around the hoop.
The pass to Carmelo. Wide open. That's good with a Douglas assist. Douglas has got 4 assists now tonight. Here's Mr. Moves. Now Brisbane. Feeds to Temple. Moving the ball well. From deep. They get it back. Fields covering. There's the three. Carmelo Anthony grabs the board. Anthony's got 4 rebounds in this game. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And in this there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Dishes to Temple. He passes to McGuire. There's Mr. Moves. Anthony with the defensive effort. Douglas. And they're running. Shoots from 12. No good on that last second attempt there. And that concludes the first half. And we'll get back to the action.
Glad you could join us this Saturday night. Cleveland with a loss to the Pacers.
As we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for Charlotte, Mr. Moves. He's in at point guard. Jefferson out there with Boris Diaw. Then it's Joel Prisbilla. And it's McGrady in at the 2-guard spot. Now here's Phillips. It's Fields outside. Bobcats with the rebound. The shot by McGrady, no good.
Seems like he tightens up, guys, when he gets close to the rim, especially when with a defender nearby.
Phillips with the bucket. Here's Mr. Moves. Now the feed to Brisbilla. Here's Mr. Moves. Shoots the three, and the shot is good. He has 4. Knicks trail by 12. That's tipped. Here's the break. Goes up.
Good. Wow.
And our Sprite Slam can gives us another look.
That is just so sweet. I mean, power and skill combined to give us that reverse.
Where do moves like that come from?
Only from players like him, apparently.
Outside Phillips. Anthony kicks to Stoudemire. Gathers. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, it's been such a long, tough stretch for Knicks fans, but last season was a good one. Getting to the playoffs, finding talent in Maury Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony, a couple of superstars, and they handled their business on their home floor pretty well.
You know, Steve, you're right. Those superstars you just rattled off have given the basketball fans and the Knicks themselves brand new life. And now they got a product, Clark, that people want to go out and see.
Exactly, and a pretty impressive home record that I think will improve now that those guys will have more time together. Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, 23 and 18 at home last year, and I expect that number to go up.
McGrady covering. McGrady against Stoudemire. Over McGrady. The shot's good from Stoudemire. Stoudemire's got 21 in the game.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
Now we have a chance to see the teams that have been the NBA's best three-point shooters this month. Number 1, the Bobcats.
I tell you what, when you have a month like this, the way they've been shooting it, you feel like the basket is 3 times as big as normal. I mean, it's hard to maintain this level of productivity, but we'll see if they can make it happen.
The first free throw is good. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's Billups. 10 points for him. New York calls timeout.
I think Coach saw a couple of things he wanted to correct. You got to make sure everyone's following the game plan.
Here's Anthony. He's got 18. Pass to Billups. He dishes it to Stoudemire. He kicks to Melo. Shot clock at 6. A baseline J. And there's another one for the Knicks.
Well, for one, he hasn't let him down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good. The result was somewhat mixed once the Knicks acquired Carmelo Anthony. They finished the season 14-14 after the trade, and of course got swept in the first round by the Celtics.
The Knicks pull it in. Turioff's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Mr. Moves is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. Here's Anthony. 20 points for him. Over Diaw. Rebounded by Tracy McGrady. Clark, you mentioned the playoff series between the Knicks and the Celtics. Carmelo struggled with his shot. Steve is 37% from the field.
Well, the Celtics are a very good team defensively. And I think for Carmelo, remember, he had to take on a lot of the scoring load because of the back injury to Amari Stoudemire. So last time Carmelo played well, but the defensive focus of Boston was completely on him.
The 3 from Billups. They get it again.
So you know where my boys are. You
Anthony against Jefferson. Fields dishes to Billups. That doesn't go either for Billups.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
And that one's good. McGrady's got 8.
You know, he's given them a nice scoring option through most of this game.
Outside, Billups. Passes it to Carmelo. A 3-ball. Again, the miss by Anthony. And here are the Bobcats. They're on a 13-5 run.
Showing no mercy. They are getting after them in both ends of the floor.
Continuing to add to the lead as the minutes tick away.
Billups kicks to Stoudemire. Back to Billups. Another steal.
It's amazing one player can turn the ball over so often. Defense wasn't able to get back fast enough to contest.
Well, they were caught flat-footed after committing the turnover that time, guys.
Poked away. Here's the break. By himself. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
When in doubt, punch it down.
As easy at 2 points as you can get.
Safe to say that's a pretty high percentage shot, guys.
The dish to Stoudemire. Outside Anthony. Jefferson picks him up. 6 on the shot clock. Fires from 14. Anthony's got 2 points.
He knows how to get to the basket, guys, especially when the defense is soft like it was there.
Here's Mr. Moves. He feeds it to Brisbilla. And he uses the glass on the lane. Brisbilla's got 6 points.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
All these turnovers really hurting his team. He continues to give the ball away.
Even numbers, 4 on 4. Billups looking up against McGrady. Easy shot. Bobcats leading by 23. And Billups picks him up defensively. They're moving it around. Outside Jefferson. Gets it to go. Jefferson got his second bucket tonight. Here's New York. Outside Billups. Jefferson against Anthony. Jefferson picks him up. Anthony with the pass to Stoudemire. Over Diallo. And Stoudemire gets it to go. Stoudemire's got 23 points.
That's 10 straight points now coming in that mid-range jump shot area, guys.
Yeah, it is, and they're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off, and I think that's very good discipline they're showing us here.
Brisbilla backing down. Now Stoudemire defending. Brisbilla, no good. Difficult situation for New York. Outside Billups. Anthony. Jefferson is right there. Releases. And that one's good. Anthony. He's got 24.
Well, he knows his role. He embraces it. And he's really a guy that you can go to offensively.
Kicks it to Brisbilla. Now, here is Fields.
Too many miscues, guys. Their lack of attention and focus has really held them back here.
Well, it's like the first rule of medicine, Steve. I bet you didn't know this. Do no harm. Well, their turnovers are making for a tough recovery.
Outside Billups. Anthony launches it. Anthony missing again. Here's Mr. Moves. Lays it in off the breakaway. Here's Billups. He's got 10. About 16. Rebound goes to the Bobcats.
Well, under Mike D'Antoni, you know you're going to have one of the best offenses in the league, and that was certainly the case with the Knicks Knicks a year ago. They finished second in the NBA in scoring.
Here's Mr. Moves, started by Billups. Gets it to go.
Kevin, too easy. I mean, the defenders were sort of looking at each other like, whose man was he? And everybody thought somebody else was going to guard him, and nobody did.
And Clark back to the Knicks scoring. You know, Mike D'Antoni was really brought over to develop that run-and-gun style we saw for so many successful seasons in Phoenix.
Yeah, I'd like to see him win a championship with it. It has not happened yet, but there's no doubt the Knicks have been much more competitive under Mike D'Antoni's watch, and frankly, they're more exciting as well. We'll see what happens going forward.
And play stops as it looks like they called over the back here.
Good reckless there, trying to get that rebound, and he gets the ball for going over the top.
Yeah, he practically tackled it. I mean, he was draped all over it.
Here's Mr. Moves. Dial working against Anthony. Lets it go. And some very quick points for him on that possession.
And I think defensively, you've got to commit a second defender because he's just destroying you right now.
Yeah, one-on-one, he's been a handful.
Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire down low. Tony Douglas out there with Chauncey Billups. And it's Mason in at the 3 spot. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Here's Mr. Moves.
You know, there's an annual survey of GMs, and one of the things that they were asked last season was, with the game on the line, which player would you want shooting the ball? Over 3/4 of the GMs say Kobe Bryant. I'm not sure if you look at the numbers, Carmelo Anthony actually might be the best choice.
Charlotte making some changes. Brown comes in for Boris Diaw, and it's McGuire in for Richard Jefferson. You know, and in that survey, rounding out the players in the top 5 as far as field goal percentage for potential game winners, Chris Paul, Brandon Roy, Sean Marion, and Vito Turkle.
You know, Kevin, I need some more information on that. How many shots are those guys taking in those quarters? But again, of those guys, I like Chris Paul. He's got the ball in his hands all the time. He can create for other people. He's not afraid of the big shot, but he's comfortable in high-pressure situations, and he's shown that he's a leader and able to deliver in the clutch.
Now, you guys know the 3 ball is his bread and butter.
Coach is liking Clark what he's seeing from his offense.
And shoot, why wouldn't he? I mean, guys, they're filling it up with ease, executing, getting quality shots. I mean, this is fun to watch.
Yeah, this is like a clinic out there, guys. This is exactly how you attack a defense. Move the ball, sharp cuts, really a nice pace to their offense. Boy, he had a good look at that one. You hate to miss that shot.
Now the pass to Brown. Covered by Anthony. Shoots it. Again, the Bobcats score. Here's Billups. Douglas for 3. The basket good off the assist from Billups. Billups has got his 4th assist in this one. It's been all Bobcats. Here's Mr. Moves. Clark, his team strategies get more and more advanced. It really seems like the corner 3 has become more and more important.
Well, Kevin, it's the shortest of the 3-point shots you can take. Because it's been exposed as a deadly weapon, I see defenses really focusing in on trying to take that shot away.
White inside. He's against Stoudemire. Here comes Tony Douglas. Feeds it to Mason. A 3. That's good with a Douglas assist. And Clark, what is so special about the corner 3?
Well, I just mentioned it, Kevin. It is the shortest one, just 22 feet, where shots at the top of the arc are almost 24 feet. That's a big difference in distance.
Here's Mr. Moves. White is called for a loose ball foul. That's foul number 2 for him. For the Knicks, Tony Turioff, who's checked in for Stoudemire. Bachman comes in for Roger Mason. And Landry Fields sub in for Tony Douglas. Dishes to Fields. Phillips dishes to Melo. This one for three. Second shot opportunity. He flies to the bucket and lays it in.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside. They really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. When you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint. Still down big, but you like to see that they've strung together several good possessions in a row now.
Yeah, and it's a start, and you've got to start somewhere. They need something to build off of to get back into this one.
Backing down is Brown. Looking to end the run. Shot is no good, and New York takes it the other way. Phillips kicks to Fields. And yes, a nice assist from Phillips. Phillips has got 6 assists now in the game. Outside Collison. Here's Mr. Moves. Knicks with the rebound. Turioff's got 7 rebounds in the game. No luck. Great D that time from Collison. High post shot. It's Chauncey Billups with the rebound. Billups has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Outside, Fields. But they'll get another chance. Goes back up. Kwame Brown pulls it in. Brown's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Right now, he's in a bit of a funk. I look for them to look at other options on offense.
That is good. And the Bobcats lead by 14.
I can tell you for sure they didn't want this. I can guarantee it. They're getting pounded, brutalized inside.
Now, it wouldn't be so bad if they were getting the same looks on the other end, but that's just not the case.
Fields' shot is good.
Come on now, you got to pay better attention than that on a shooter like him. He'll make that 10 times out of 10.
Bobcats leading by 11. Outside Collison. Here's Mr. Moves. White. Soft touch off the glass.
Boy, he set him up nicely with that pass.
Boy, I love the ball movement, guys. That's 3 of their last 5 shots coming off of assists.
Anthony backing him down. Post-up shot. The Bobcats pull it in.
He's missing a lot of shots out here offensively. He just has not been able to produce in this quarter.
Took him no time at all on that one. Here's Phillips. New York with the ball. They're on an 18-7 run. Anthony with the screen on Collison. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. And here's a look at what's coming up for the Bobcats. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game will be a quick pitch stop before hitting the road again. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for the Knicks. And the Bobcats with a new group in. Joel Prisbilla checked in for Brown. DL comes in for DJ White. Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for McGuire. And Tracy McGrady subbed in for Darren Collison. Here is Fields. Outside Phillips. And the Knicks miss again. Bobcats lead by 16. And he puts in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
That's why you push the ball. You score before the defense has a chance to set up.
Exactly. They had the defense on its heels that time.
A finish. Whoa! What a finish with the reverse dunk.
Good time to turn it up here. Enjoying this double-digit lead here in the 4th quarter.
Well, as long as they stay tidy and sharp, they'll walk away with the victory here.
They've been looking out of sorts in the last few possessions.
This is when they need to be patient, work the ball, and find a high percentage shot.
Stoudemire, the pass to Carmelo. Takes it up. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Anthony's got 4 points in the quarter. They're making this a runaway.
Now, the only question now is how big will this lead eventually become? This is a blowout.
Gets it to go.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so if they're getting really high percentage looks down there, this has been an offensive explosion, guys. They are on fire.
How about a volcanic eruption, a flash fire? And defensively, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. They just hope that they cool off at some point.
Goes up. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw.
Just a lapse in focus there because that looked to be a pretty easy pass to make.
And the Bobcats have changed it. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win.